we were sitting in the kitchen watching the television, the news and weather reports. And initially, they had mentioned something to the effect that there was a line of tornadoes that they suspected that was supposed to go north of the forestry, and if you lived in Underwood and southern Scott County, to evacuate. About 10 minutes later, they said they had a touchdown of a tornado at Bunker Hill, which is right up 160 from us, maybe 4 or 5 miles. Excuse me. So immediately, I had her go to the basement. Me being Mr. Macho, I stepped out of the back, from the back door onto the deck and looked to the west, I-65. And then I heard the train coming. A few minutes later, the principal at the high school, because our old house was located right next to the high school, came on the PA and told everybody that was in the parking lot to get in the building. And I started to see debris come up along I-65. I immediately headed for the basement. I was about halfway down the steps and it was already over. Tornado was. I went back outside to check, saw that we had lost the roof to the house. Mentioned it to Betty, and she said, you know, she was thankful that we're still alive. Houses can be replaced. Then I looked over to school and I thought, please don't let it be. And basically then emergency and responders started showing up and so forth and so on. And that was basically that day that happened. You know, relatives and so forth went to check that lived in the area. But as far as the day of the tornado, the second, that was basically what happened to us. The thing about it is, I've been in a tornado, but I've been in typhoons, I've been in hurricanes, whatever, and it's you know, I guess it's kind of like, it's an eerie feeling, but still it's not like, you know, I was distressed or anything like that. You know, if maybe the house had started to really collapse or something, then I might have had some concern, but you know, it was over so quickly that there wasn't really time to think about anything, because from our understanding, it went from I-65 all the way up to the top of the hill, Pine Drive, in less than 30 seconds. So that's how fast it was moving.
And so immediately in the aftermath, were you more concerned with securing your own house, or did you go and try to go to the school and help others, or what did you do that night?
Well, what happened was a friend of ours, contractor, came and said there was no sense in trying to tarp because the whole roof was gone. So we concentrated because of the emergency responders. They virtually had the school blocked off. You could not get anywhere close to the school or anywhere down here on 31. So with the help of some friends and relatives, we started concentrating on getting as much stuff as we could out of the house because of the reportedly bad weather, the rain and so forth coming in, and damaging the interior of the house as such, with rain damage and hail and whatever. So that was basically what our concern was that day.
So you spent a long night trying to get everything out of your
Right,
house.
right.
And what was it like in the days after, as you began to kind of put things back together? Did you have, what did you feel like, and how did you cope with all this?
Well, it was one of those things where there was so much to do, so many things were going on that you really didn't have time to think, just to put yourself on like auto mode and just keep on, you know, just keep on going, and really didn't stop to think or really concentrate on what things were going on.
And a lot of people came to help you?
Yes, this is where I have a lot of stories. I'm going to put a little religious thing in here, was that the following morning, as I said, we were interviewed for the Today Show, which was, at first we weren't going to do it because of the other people we had gone through. But we decided maybe we could help somebody else and give them some courage. which worked out good because our families that were out of the area had no way to get communication, and that's the only thing they saw, that we were okay. But going back, excuse me, the following morning, a young lady showed up at our house and came up to Betty and said she was very sorry. She was almost crying. And Betty told her that everything was okay. And she said, but you don't understand. She said, last month, my house burnt to the ground. I'm living in my car with the clothes on my back. And she said, I live in Columbus, Ohio. I saw this at McDonald's while I was eating breakfast, and I thought I had to come and help. That's the least I could do. She said, after I got here and saw the outpouring of people, she said, I felt so insignificant because I only had enough money with me at the time to buy a dozen boxes of trash bags. We said, everybody needs trash bags. But the true story, which goes in, everybody, if you have anything with scripturally, Luke 21:2, the story of the widow's mite. We found out the next couple of days that the Thursday before the tornado, this lady had got her tax refund, which was approximately $6,000. She donated it all to the relief fund. I mean, that's the loving and caring of people around here. We all know about the young man that closed his restaurant in Bedford, Indiana. Came down, went to the church, fed everybody for almost a week and a half out of his own pocket, which we found out later was close to $150,000 to take care of the people around here because he felt that's what the Lord told him to do. And also, very impressive, I had a man come up to me and he said, as you can tell, I'm British. He said, I'm a news reporter for Reuters International. He said, I don't want to interview you, I just want to tell you this and have you tell people about your encounter. And that being that I've been in the news reporting business for over 30 years. I've been around the world at least 3 dozen times. I've covered everything from a dust storm to famine to war. He said, but I have never in my lifetime have I seen a community and an area come together so tight, so caring, and so giving. And he said, when I go back to England and file my reports, he said, I don't care what people say about America. I'm a living proof of what I've seen of how great middle America is.
That's fantastic.
So, I mean, that's just some of the wonderful things that people, and everybody's talked about. The people, Belfour, that restored the school. We got to be, because of our proximity to them, we got to be like family. When they left, they came and said, we don't want to leave. You people are like family to us. One of the few places in the world that we've gone where people have come up and said, what can we do for you, instead of saying, what can we do for you? And we really appreciate that, and we'll always cherish that. And as a matter of fact, when we had a reunion or yearly celebration, the president of Belfour came back and said basically the same thing.
So what did you learn from all this, when going through all this?
Well, one thing is how blessed we are in many ways. A lot of things we take for granted, and then we see around us, and we come to appreciate what we have. And we've also, one of the things learned is extreme patience. Things take time, as you well know, and we just have to be a little patient, and what'll happen will happen, and we just have to accept it and carry on.
So how do you feel this town, this community, Southern Indiana, is different, having gone through this outbreak of tornadoes?
Well, as an outsider, I've only been here maybe 22 years. And it's basically the caring and camaraderie, and how the people here have always been strong and stood together. And I think because of what occurred, it's going to be stronger. We're going to be a lot better if you can, in the face of tragedy, living through it and going through it and striving together, I think we're going to be a lot stronger than before.
Tell me about your own comeback and where you all are today with everything.
Well, after we got everything settled, we just, a couple weeks ago, we built and moved into a new house. Betty and I got married, so, life is good.
Wonderful. Anything else that you would like to say about anything?
No, not really, other than, just the fact that appreciate, the goodness of what we've seen. All we ever hear about is the bad in people, Nothing against the news media or whatever, but all they seem to want to do is report on the bad things. You never hear anything about the good. Well, we've lived the good things. We've lived the bad and we've lived the good. And the goods outweigh the bad.